Linda's student and Jack's grandson were fighting at the same school. One was saying soldiers are killers, the other soldiers are heroes. While the parents' meeting was happening, panic sounds rose from the school. Welcome to Vietnam Stories. Before we begin this powerful story, tell us in the comments which city you're watching from today. And if you believe stories like this need to be heard, hit that subscribe button. Because sometimes the greatest enemies can become the greatest allies. In Houston's Midtown district at Maple Grove Apartments lived two neighbors. Same building, same floor, doors facing each other. They had shared the same hallway for 3 years but had never greeted each other, because between them was a gap as thick as a wall, as deep as oceans. Jack Morrison, 67 years old, was a retired Navy Chief Petty Officer. He had served on 12 different ships from 1973 to 1995, stationed in 5 conflict zones from Vietnam to the Gulf War. His gray hair was always neatly cut, his posture always military. He would wake up at 6 in the morning, drink his coffee, perform flag ceremony, and follow the day's news. Linda Patterson, 42 years old, was a social studies teacher in the Houston Independent School District. She had worked at the same high school for 18 years, teaching peace education, human rights, and conflict resolution. Her long brown hair was usually pulled back, her green eyes behind glasses always thoughtful. She would do yoga in the mornings, drink organic tea, and check her students' homework. Both lived on the 3rd floor in apartments 3A and 3B. Jack's door had a small American flag, Linda's had a colorful coexist sticker. The distance between the two doors was 3 meters, but the ideological difference was light years. They left at the same time every morning. Jack at exactly 07:30, Linda at 07:45. When they met in the elevator, Jack would greet her. Linda would nod back. They wouldn't talk. There was no need to talk. Both knew what the other thought. Jack had heard what Linda taught in her classroom. She described the Vietnam War as an unnecessary conflict, the Gulf War as an oil war, and the Afghanistan intervention as imperialist aggression. Jack's blood boiled. This woman was teaching young people wrong things. She was making soldiers look guilty. Linda, meanwhile, heard the sounds from Jack's television. Fox News every evening, war movies every Sunday, march music every national holiday. This man was pumping militaristic thinking. He was normalizing violence. He was confusing young people's minds. The two neighbors continued this silent war for 3 years. Until that Monday morning, a fight had broken out at Madison Heights High School. 2 students were involved in the fight. Marcus Williams, a 16-year-old African-American boy from Linda's social studies class, and Tommy Morrison, Jack's grandson, 17 years old, a senior serving in the JROTC program. The reason for the fight was simple. The Vietnam War was being covered in social studies class. Linda had used a critical approach while explaining the causes of the war, emphasizing civilian casualties, anti-war protests, and politicians' wrong decisions. Marcus had agreed with this by saying American soldiers killed innocent people. Tommy couldn't stand it. "What are you saying?" he had shouted. "My grandfather fought in Vietnam. He's a hero." "A hero?" Marcus had replied. "You mean a killer?" The fight had started there. The two boys went at each other. Other students tried to break them up. Linda had intervened, but the incident had escalated. Tommy's nose was bleeding. Marcus had a black eye. Both were headed to the principal's office. That evening, while Jack was picking up Tommy from the hospital, he listened to what the boy told him. "Grandpa, that teacher is calling you a killer," Tommy said. "You and all the other soldiers, I can't accept this." Jack's face turned to stone. "Who is this teacher?" he asked. "Linda Patterson, the 3rd floor social studies teacher," Tommy said. Jack was shocked. His neighbor, that peace-loving woman. So all his suspicions were true. This woman was poisoning young minds. At the same time, Linda was also listening to what Marcus told her while driving him home. "Teacher, that boy says soldiers never do anything wrong," Marcus said. "According to them, every war is right, every intervention is justified. What kind of education is this?" Linda was also shocked. "Tommy Morrison, Morrison. Jack Morrison's grandson. So her neighbor's influence continued at home too. The next day, the school administration called an emergency parent meeting. The causes of the fight would be investigated, necessary measures would be taken. Both Jack and Linda were called to the same meeting. The meeting hall was tense. Jack sat in the front row wearing a navy blazer and red tie. Linda was in the back row, wearing a green blouse and brown cardigan. They were in the same room but never made eye contact. Principal Richardson began to speak. "The cause of this fight is differences in our educational approaches," he said. "Our students are hearing different perspectives and can't digest them." Jack stood up. "Principal, the problem isn't perspective," he said. "The problem is distortion of facts. The Vietnam War was complex, but American soldiers did their duty. Blaming them is wrong." Linda also stood up. "Mr. Morrison, I'm not blaming soldiers," she said. "I'm questioning war itself. I'm teaching young people to think critically." "Critical thinking?" Jack's voice rose. "You're teaching treason." "Treason?" Linda's voice also rose. "Is advocating for peace a crime?" "Peace is protected by force, not by words," Jack said. "Force breeds violence." "More violence," Linda replied. The hall began to get chaotic. Other parents were choosing their sides. Some supported Jack, some Linda. Children were waiting in the hallway, hearing the voices. Principal Richardson was trying to calm things down. "Please," he said. "We can't find a solution this way." Jack pointed at Linda with his finger. "This woman is dangerous," he said. "She's confusing children's minds." Linda put her hands on her hips. "This man is reactionary," she said. "He's pumping militarism." "I serve my country," Jack said. "I'm serving the future," Linda replied. "What future?" Jack asked. "The one where America's enemies win? The one where American children don't die in wars?" Linda said. The argument had heated up so much that no one heard the sounds coming from the hallway. First came running sounds, then shouting, then gunshots. The hall immediately fell silent. Everyone froze. Principal Richardson immediately grabbed his phone, called 911. "Armed attacker at Madison Heights High School," he said. "Emergency help." The school principal's voice came over the hallway speaker. "Lock down! Lock down! All classes lock your doors and hide!" Jack and Linda immediately sprang into action. Both ran to the door in the hall at the same time. There was panic outside. Students were running, teachers were shouting, security guards were talking on walkie-talkies. "Where's Tommy?" Jack shouted. "Where's Marcus?" Linda asked at the same time. They looked at each other. For the first time, they really looked. There was fear in Jack's eyes, and in Linda's too. The same fear. Fear for the children. "Third floor," Linda said. "They're both on the third floor." "The gunshots came from there," Jack said. Linda began to tremble. "The children," she said. Jack touched Linda's shoulder. For the first time. The first physical contact after 3 years. "Stay calm," he said. "We'll find them." "How?" Linda asked. "Until the police come." "I know this place," Jack said. "I came to visit Tommy. There are emergency exit routes." Linda looked at Jack. This man had military experience. He knew crisis management. What are you going to do?" she asked. "I'm going to rescue the children," Jack said. "Both of them." Linda was surprised. "Both of them?" Jack looked serious. "Linda, I'm a soldier," he said. "Protecting children is my duty, whatever child it is." At that moment, Linda understood. This man was ready to save even a student of a teacher he saw as his enemy. Because he was human first, soldier second. "I'm coming too," Linda said. "No, it's dangerous," Jack said. "Marcus is my student," Linda said. "I know him. He might not listen to you, but he'll listen to me." Jack hesitated, then nodded. "Okay," he said. "But you'll do what I say." "Agreed," Linda said. The two went into the hallway together. The stairs leading to the school's third floor were filled with chaos. Students were running downstairs, teachers were trying to direct them. But Jack and Linda were moving in the opposite direction, upward. "Stop!" said the security guard. Don't go up, it's dangerous. Jack showed his pin. Navy veteran, he said, going to rescue children. The security guard hesitated, then gave way. When they reached the third floor, the situation was even worse. The hallways were almost empty. Only a few teachers were trying to calm the children remaining in classrooms. Glass breaking sounds were coming. Crying sounds could be heard from afar. Where's Marcus's classroom? Jack asked. Room 312, Linda said. Around that corner. They advanced. Jack in front, Linda behind. Jack's steps were military disciplined. Slow, careful, silent. Linda's heart was pounding, but she was following Jack. When they turned the corner, they saw. The door of room 312 was half open. Sounds were coming from inside. Sounds of fear. Jack put his finger to his lips, signaling silence. He approached the door, listened carefully. Everyone get down, a voice was shouting. Young male voice. I'm serious. Jack turned to Linda, whispered. How many children are inside? Linda also whispered. 25 to 30, social studies classroom. The attacker? Jack asked. Unknown, Linda said. I think the voice sounds familiar. Jack nodded. He moved even closer to the door. Now he could hear the voices more clearly. Tommy, Marcus, where are you? The attacker was shouting. Jack's blood froze. The attacker was looking for Tommy and Marcus. He had targeted them. He turned to Linda. Plan changed, he said. This is personal. What do you mean? Linda asked. The attacker is looking for our children, Jack said. Linda's face went white. What are we going to do? She asked. Jack thought. His military training kicked in. Situation assessment, tactical planning, risk analysis. You stay here, Jack said. I'll go in and distract him. You try to evacuate the children through the back window. Jack, this is very dangerous, Linda said. Linda, listen to me, Jack said. I've experienced these situations. You protect the children. I'll deal with the attacker. Linda looked into Jack's eyes. There was determination there, but he was also hiding fear. If something happens, Linda said. It won't, Jack said. But if it does, get the children to safety. All of them. Tommy too, Marcus too. Linda nodded. For the first time, she completely trusted Jack. Jack approached the door. He took a deep breath, then he pushed the door open and went inside. Stop, he said. I'm Jack Morrison, Navy veteran. Drop the weapon. Everyone in the classroom turned to look. The attacker was about 19 years old, a former student. He had a small caliber pistol in his hand. He was trembling. His eyes were red, his hair disheveled. Who are you? The attacker asked. I'm Tommy's grandfather, Jack said. Stay calm, don't hurt anyone. Tommy Morrison? The attacker asked. That damn militarist kid. Jack remained calm. Yes, he said. But why are you angry with him? Because he and his friends are bullying me, the attacker said. They call me peace-loving hippie. They call me traitor. Jack understood. This kid had been bullied by Tommy and his friends. He had come for revenge. Listen, Jack said, slowly approaching. I understand. You've been wronged. Wronged? The attacker asked. They declared me the school psychopath. But solving it with a gun is wrong, Jack said. You know that too. The attacker pointed the gun at Jack. Stay back, he shouted. At that moment, Linda entered through the back window. Silently, without drawing attention. The children saw her but didn't make a sound. Marcus, Linda whispered. Tommy, come here. Marcus and Tommy were sitting in the corner. Next to each other, they were hugging each other from fear. The two children who had fought yesterday were protecting each other today. Linda approached the children. Stay calm, she said. We'll get you out. Tommy whispered, Miss Linda, is my grandfather here? Yes, Linda said. He's talking to the attacker. We're going to escape. Marcus also whispered. I'm scared. Linda held both children's hands. You don't need to be afraid, she said. You're protecting each other. That's very beautiful. The children looked at each other. Enemies yesterday, protectors today. In the front, Jack continued talking to the attacker. Look, son, I was young too, Jack said. I was wrong too. When I returned from Vietnam, people called me baby killer. The attacker was surprised. Really? He asked. Really, Jack said. I was spat on at the airport. I was forced to take off my uniform. So how did you endure it? The attacker asked. Over time, I realized that these people weren't protesting me. They were protesting war, Jack said. They weren't against me. They were against violence. The attacker was slowly lowering the gun. So, were they right too? He asked. Jack gave an honest answer. Sometimes, war is really terrible, but violence isn't the solution. Meanwhile, Linda was taking the children to the window. Other students were following them too, silently, without panicking. So what am I going to do? The attacker asked. Everyone hates me. No, Jack said. No one hates you. You're just misunderstood. Tommy Morrison and his friends? The attacker began. Tommy is a child, Jack said. He learned wrong too, but learning is possible. The attacker looked at his gun, then at Jack. You really understand, he said. I understand, Jack said. Because I was in your place too. Linda had evacuated the last children too. Now it was Tommy and Marcus's turn. But they didn't want to move. Why? Linda whispered. Tommy whispered, Grandfather is in danger. I can't leave him. Marcus also added, My teacher too. I can't leave you. Linda was surprised. Both children wanted to protect each other and the adults. The children who had fought yesterday were making sacrifices today. Okay, Linda said. Then we'll all go out together. In the front, Jack continued trying to convince the attacker. Give me the gun, Jack said. We won't solve it this way. The attacker was hesitating. But he said. They're children, Jack said. You're a child too, but now it's time to act like an adult. The attacker slowly extended the gun to Jack. Jack took it, put the safety on, put it in his pocket. Well done, Jack said. Right decision. At that moment, Linda came to the front with Tommy and Marcus. Everyone's safe, Linda said. Jack looked at Linda. Great job, he said. The attacker saw Tommy. Tommy Morrison, he said. Tommy stepped forward. I apologize, he said. I bullied you. It was wrong. Marcus also added, I apologize too. I was disrespectful to your grandfather. Jack was surprised. The children were apologizing to each other. Linda was also surprised. Tommy turned to Marcus. You're a pacifist, he said. That's a good thing. Marcus also replied, You're a patriot. That's also a good thing. The two children extended their hands to each other. Jack looked at Linda. Seems the children were smarter than us, he said. Linda smiled. I guess so, she said. Police sirens were approaching. Ambulance sounds could be heard. The crisis was ending. But for Jack and Linda, it was a new beginning. The attacker was handed over to police. The children were evacuated to safety. No one at school was seriously injured. That evening, Jack knocked on Linda's door. Hello, he said. Can we talk? Linda opened the door. Sure, she said. Coffee? Yes, Jack said. They sat in the kitchen, for the first time in each other's homes. Today. I learned a lot today, Jack said. Me too, Linda said. You're a good teacher, Jack said. You really protect children. You're a good soldier too, Linda said. You really protect people. Both smiled. Maybe we're both right, Jack said. Maybe we're both wrong, Linda said. Or maybe we're both saying the same thing in different ways, Jack said. Linda nodded. Peace and security, she said, both are important. Yes, Jack said, and both are possible together. From that day on, Jack and Linda no longer fought. Sometimes they would argue, but with respect. Jack began coming to Linda's classes as a guest teacher. He would tell military history, but also emphasize the pains of war. Linda also taught Jack empathy and conflict resolution techniques. Jack began using these in apartment management. Tommy and Marcus became best friends. Tommy stayed in JROTC, but also began doing peace projects. Marcus continued peace activism, but also began learning military history. The attacker child received psychological treatment and returned to school. Jack and Linda mentored him. The child learned both militarist and pacifist views, found his own way. 6 months later, Jack and Linda started a project together, Veterans and Peace Education Program. Veterans would go to schools and tell both the importance of military service and the value of peace. The program was a great success. Other cities copied the model too. And Jack and Linda realized they had never actually been enemies. They were just two people chasing the same goal through different paths. The goal: protect children, keep the future safe, build peace and security together. Today they're still neighbors, still friends, and still continuing to learn, because sometimes the greatest enemies are nothing but the hidden form of the closest allies. Have you witnessed such moments in your life too? People you thought were enemies but actually shared the same values? Share your experiences in the comments, because it's very important for such stories to be heard. If this story touched you, don't forget to subscribe. On the Vietnam Stories channel, we'll continue sharing such powerful, meaningful stories with you. Because sometimes the most beautiful friendships are born from the greatest fights.